jumps down and slides down the hill. I see shots going above his head.
So she's like, oh, great, on her one day off, you're trying to romance this Pan Am chick. I'm like, honey, it's V, it's not me. Come on.
Brought back some old Catholic school memories, did it?
Oh, man, yeah, you just... Okay, you know the DMV sloth?
I know you're going with this.
Yeah, this guy.
You're listening to On the Rewind.
She said, this guy is awesome, very attractive. The only problem is he buys blueberries and rice.
Is that all he buys? Is that the issue?
For the most part. Do you know what he doesn't eat?
Blueberries and rice?
Yep. There must have been something happening on a day he got one of those bad concussions where he had to go and buy blueberries and rice. Because she's like, the freezer's full of blueberries. Goes down to the basement, bags and bags of rice. All of a sudden, he just like sits up. He goes, oh, gotta go to the grocery store. You need anything? He goes, no, I'm okay. Comes back 30 minutes later, bag of rice, pack of blueberries.
Oh, please tell me he's not. Please tell me he's not in Groundhog Day. All right, you're listening to On the Rewind, on air at Amherst Island 101.3 FM. You can catch this on podcast format anywhere you listen to podcasts, including Apple and Spotify. Hey, Adam, how's your week?
My week's been doing good. I gotta say, I love that new intro that we got on top of there.
For sure, man.
Yeah, it's
good work.
And before we really get into anything, I would just like to shout out the Unspoken Conversation. It's a new podcast that I kind of helped get started, and mostly only on the technical side. It's run by a guy named Craig out on the territory over there. And it's focused around the conversation of the homeless problem that is pretty much running rampant in all of Southern Ontario, mostly all over the world. We're not going to want to hear, but yeah. So he's on Instagram at THEUNSPKNCONVERSATION. That's the Unspoken Conversation. But yeah, really nice guy.
Well,
sorry.
Yeah, that's a really good podcast name for a lot of just speaking up of topics. So I hope if he wraps up that conversation, I hope we can find something else that's also equally problematic or something that he's passionate about to talk about for that show.
Oh yeah, and like he runs the Warm Belly Project in Belleville. He's kind of opened my eyes to a lot of the problems that are like happening right in my backyard, and like everywhere is bad, like I said, but apparently Belleville just is not handling it as well as even like some other cities like Kingston and all that. So
really, you the comparison is that Kingston's got a better grip.
Yeah, like for anyone that was even close to Southern Ontario near Christmas, you'd know that we had like one of the worst ice storms you could think of in the last like at least decade. And every other shelter opened up their doors 24/7 to get people off the streets, and Belleville was the only one in Ontario, Southern Ontario, that kept the regular times. So there was just people waiting till 5 p.m. to get in, and then like they would.
Do you think it was like a staffing issue?
Even so, it's like you can lock everything and just kind of give them an open hall. Like, yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah, like just
I'm not trying to defend them. It's just kind of curiosity.
Yeah, I would actually like to dive in, but like, yeah. And then they were kicking
they'll
them
have
out.
To be a topic. Maybe we can bring him on for an episode later down the road.
He actually expressed a little bit of interest about coming on. He's very new to the podcast scene, but I recommended a really good mic, all the programs that we use here, and he got them running pretty well. I'm sure he'll be a pro in no time. So yeah, I'd love to get him on as a guest.
When he surpasses us, he can give us a shit.
Actually, to be fair, he's the guy that runs the unnamed food truck that I keep talking about.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so he actually has a way bigger following than we do right now.
Can we put a sticker up on his truck?
Honestly, yeah, yeah, because like Freshco,
That'd be that'd be enough.
yeah, oh yeah, he has his finger in a lot of pies, and yeah, really,
Uh,
really great guy, down to earth.
well, you showed him how to do podcasting. Maybe you can show us how to do social media.
But yeah, yeah. So I just wanted to get that out of the way in case I forgot. Deserves to be said. How is your week, or I guess 2 weeks, been going?
It's been that long. Oh, not gonna lie. So so the week before that was it was a little bittersweet. It was nice because starting the new job and having to wait so long for that paycheck, and
Yeah.
oh man, going through all my savings to pretty much get ready for this one job and hoping it worked out, and it has so far. So I'm making that work. But on brighter news, at least for me, I've been more recently. I got into the Hogwarts Legacy.
Okay. Can we put a pin on that? But how is the job?
Oh, the job?
Yeah.
The job? It's a job.
Okay.
It's good on it's good honest work. Um, but like a lot of it's like doing like the manly work, blue collar stuff. It's not so much in the trades or skilled labor. It's just general labor. So it's like anything between shoveling cement to
Oh.
jackhammer,
Oh.
whatever they need at the time. Like um
Would
today and yesterday I was up on a fifth story floor on a roof taking a small jackhammer to some railings that had cement and the dust and powder all glazed over it, so it was kind of a hazard.
at least you're gonna be
So clean that
yoked.
up.
Gonna be absolutely ripped by the end of this.
My back hurts. There's no rip, it's just my back hurts.
Yeah, my muscles are ripped, Adam. Stop. So it's this like probably like on the same par and level as me hitting my big red button to hit record. It kind of seems like the same amount of effort.
Uh-huh. Well, some days it's busier than others. Some days it's yeah, but it's one of those things. It's a labor job.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I
um,
just wanted to kind of ask, but yeah. So Hogwarts Legacy. I'm
yeah.
jealous
So
to say the least.
really,
Yeah, I want to play it. I just I can't buy a
yeah,
game full price.
not right now.
No, just
Yeah.
full price. I don't know. I have like a rule against it. I don't know why.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Well, you can always check out my YouTube videos on it. I got the second one processing right now.
Sweet. And what's that YouTube
But
channel?
you can catch me on YouTube. You can search up EXOBYT3. I do not have a big enough following to have a special URL.
Hey. So, how is it?
However, it's going good so far. I am making baby steps because me and my partner we're playing through it together on the YouTube side.
No way.
But I've been well, not so secretly. She knows. I have it downloaded on her little Steam Deck, so when she goes to bed, I have a second character made up, so I can just fight and spellcast and be a wizard. But for like all the quests and stuff like that, and like I don't really go past anywhere that we've gone on the YouTube side.
Okay, yeah. So it's all new
So
to you. You're all experiencing it as one.
yeah.
Okay. It's pretty
Well,
dope.
except for the recording issues I have been having. I recently had to do a complete like factory reset on my computer just because when you go through enough Windows update that Windows drive, no matter how much you do, is just full.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I had to do a factory reset because it was causing issues. And unfortunately, for all my streaming and recording stuff, I forgot to export all my scenes. So
Oh,
now I got to rebuild them up by scratch.
goddamn.
But that'll be a little weekend project down the
Yeah.
road. But in other words, my games and everything else is running smoother, and the computer's booting up fast again.
Oh, is that why when we were playing No Man's Sky there was kind of an issue?
I think so.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be giving that a bit of a change. Also, for our audience, we are diving into No Man's Sky with a couple of our buddies there. They're wanting to be pirates and eventually rob Adam because Adam's got a pretty good head start and a good base.
And so much more, but I'll get into that after, yeah, after your week. But
Yeah. One thing is I was not expecting it. I got this news like this morning on my break on shift. So, you remember Jasper Malone,
yeah,
the guy that we had our first guest there?
yeah,
You know how he was running the ranch and everything else like that?
yes, sir.
We're going to be going through an arc. We had to do some tickets to make sure we were okay to do it. Oliver is going to be taking over the ranch.
No
My
way.
character. Yeah.
No way.
And I don't know how I feel about that.
Oh
So
yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, now I'm responsible if this thing fails.
Yeah, yeah. You just
Because
got
his whole thing is like, man, it's like, oh, I'm just getting busier and stuff like that. And you're like, it's like, you're a good fit for this. And I'm just like, oh, so you want to make me busy?
yeah, you're right. When you start a new job, not when you were like not doing it.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
But yeah, no, the way I got it worked out should be fine. He's gonna, like, business isn't going to go under or anything else like that. It's just going to be interesting because now I gotta approach it. It's like, all right, my job is to make sure these ranch hands are safe. It's like, now I gotta make sure all these like things are going in motion now. I'm like, so the way I'm gonna do it is the way Eddie Yoder does it: delegate.
Yeah, yeah. You gotta get
I'm gonna bring up one foreman that replaced me. I'm gonna bring up the co-foreman I've had for almost a year. I'm gonna put him into like a head foreman position, and I'm gonna bring up two other foremen for him to boss around, so I can boss him around to get things done,
yeah.
and you can boss those two,
That's so fun.
and then we still have like five others under us.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
So we'll make it work, but I'm definitely going to be delegating.
That's so funny. And now it's more of an obligation to actually, yeah, go on and yeah,
Yeah,
keep the ranch running.
yeah.
So what's
But
Jasper do?
I want to be a whisper. I want to be a whisper, not a cowboy right now.
Yeah.
But no, it's good. So I guess he's just trying to book more gigs. I guess he's probably gonna try getting another cruise going. That's usually when he has to go away for a while.
Yeah.
So, because right now he's just been doing local gigs. I think he's wanting to branch out and do some more touring, by the sounds of it.
Yeah, that's probably where all the money is.
It is like doing the cruises and stuff like that. That's, all your cost of living's all taken care of. You're taken care of, and you're just coming out at the other end with a check.
Yeah, and plus, like, come on, you're on the ocean. That's
Yeah.
Or you're pretty much taking a cruise and like a couple hours a day you gotta work.
And actually, for a good part of the day, you gotta work. By
Really?
the sounds of it.
Oh, actually,
Yeah.
yeah. When I was doing research on him, I checked some of his videos out, and it's pretty much he's like the day shift, like you're just on the dock
Yeah.
and like your or deck, sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're putting in work. Yeah, good for him.
Yeah. Other than that, news is kind of sparse. I got a lot of topic pieces to talk about with you after you're done your week, though.
I
But speaking of, how was your week?
I actually might have some news stories myself because my week has consisted of this back pain that will not go away. So
Oof.
I feel like an old man, so I watch news like an
Welcome
old
to the
man.
club.
Yeah. I have to watch my
We've
stories.
been expecting you.
Yeah. So yeah. It's been all right. I'm kind of fighting through it. I got a chiropractor on Friday, so we're gonna see how
Yeah,
that.
I'm still stubborn and haven't booked one yet.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to deal with this anymore. So yeah.
Oh, here's the fun part, Adam. You're always gonna deal with it. Your life now is gonna be about minimizing it.
See, you and Cody are the exact same way. You're like, nah, it's forever. And then like I talk to like the other half of the people are like, nah, you'll just get over it in 6 weeks. I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm gonna decide to ignore you two. I'm
It's
actively
because
just
you're listening to the blue collar that's actively ruining their bodies for a paycheck.
yeah, I don't do much. I have done one thing and it fucked me up. So yeah, I'm not doing that anymore. But yeah, so it's been a lot of stories from other people. Not really a whole lot except for did I talk about going to the Raptors game last time?
I knew you were going to it. You have not told me about it.
All right. So, ever since last year, just this is some context for listeners. I played 2K 2022 and I fell in love with the sport. I fell in love with NBA in general and specifically the Bulls, but like I'm not going to Chicago, so I'm going to the Raptors. It's Canada's team. So I lucked out through my father. He gave me some tickets that were given to him from a vendor. We're sitting right in the middle, 20 rows up, awesome seats. In general, game was awesome. The atmosphere in there, can't beat it. Super hype. Yeah, like you can't get much better. Excuse me. My ideal like going to the game was going to be drive to Oshawa, hop on the go train Union Station, connected right to the Raptors. So I just go there, hop off, go see the game, leave, go on the train, come home, maybe have a drink or two at home and kind of talk about the game with my roommate there. My roommate has a bit of a stomach issue and has to have access to a hot shower wherever he is. So that meant he booked a hotel. Not a bad one either, actually. Like it was, I think it was the Marriott. It was only like a block away from the actual game, so that was actually pretty sick. Not gonna lie. And drove in a Tesla for the first time. Cause
Oh,
yeah. So he's a bigger guy, didn't really feel like walking back again, and I mostly blame it on him. But no, I also did not feel like walking because it was just slush and you're slipping and sliding around everywhere. So I kind of get it. And I had never used Uber before. Have you?
I have not.
It. I feel once again like an old man. Kind of a theme for this week. Um, it was too easy. It was always in my mind too easy, so I didn't trust it. But I didn't feel like walking, neither did my roommate, so I downloaded it and they have the prices and everything, and there's like Uber Premium and Uber Black, and I'm like, you know what? It's special. Didn't have to pay the like $600 for a ticket, so I'm gonna book a Uber Black or Premium, whichever one it was.
Okay.
And
What's the difference?
one is professional drivers in luxury cars, and one is highly rated drivers in luxury cars. So, like, one is actually like a driving service, and then one is just a really good Uber driver with a luxury car.
Okay.
So, I got the one that is just a really good Uber driver in a luxury car. And it's almost like ordering food, except it happens in a matter of minutes in downtown Toronto. Because I light up a
Okay.
smoke, I hit, okay, bring me here, and all of a sudden a car pulls up, and I'm like a quarter of my way through my dart. I'm like, oh, and he goes, Adam. I go, yeah. He goes, okay. I'm like, oh, and then yeah, I have to butt out my smoke, and like me and the roommate are like getting into the back of this Tesla, or should I say we are trying to get into the back of a Tesla, because the door handles are seamless into the car.
Yeah.
So I had watched enough David Dobrik videos back in the day to know you gotta push some part of this handle to bring it out. So it took me about like let's say 20 seconds, which is 20 seconds too much to get a door open. Till I click it and the handle pops out for like a millisecond. It just I'm like, okay, okay. So I like really quickly with one hand push the button and it goes and like in a second I just grab it with the other hand and I open it. So I get in and I'm like, sweet, that's a little embarrassing, but it's kind of funny. Like we're finally in, and I look over to my right, and my roommate, he's like looking. It looks like he's looking around in the dark with his hands over this Tesla. Like there's probably fingerprints all over the like outside this like thing because he could not figure it out. And the Uber driver, he's having a great time. He's laughing because obviously it's like, yeah, we're country kids at heart. So
Yeah,
he goes,
you went to the big city.
yeah, yeah. I even when we finally all get in, I'm
You
like,
should you should have said it's like that Amish holiday where you get to leave the
oh
leave
yeah.
the thing, just the mess of the guy.
We are finally allowed off for like our first time in
It's like
18
this is my
years.
first month off of the Amish property.
That's so funny. Um, yeah,
I'm an
so
awful person, I know.
the guy says, yeah, just push the door open for him. I'm like, okay. I try to. And he goes, no, you have to put your hand on the sensor. I go, this is already too many steps. So I put my hand on the sensor. He goes, push, or my thumb, sorry, on the sensor. I push, and the window starts to come down. I go, oh, God, I hit the wrong button. He goes, no, the window has to come down for the door to open. And I'm like, this is too much. So I hit this, the window comes down, I push it open, and we get in, and like the windows come up and the door locks. I'm like, this is creepy. Um, Overall, it was only like a 2 block, a city block though, walk, and overall, not really a fan. Yeah, yeah, like it was really cool watching that iPad type thing in the middle. Recognize that like it's not a car beside you, it's a truck, and there's a person walking across. Like it shows you everything that's around you in real time. That's pretty sweet. But as for the interior of the car, there's not a lot of character. It's very sterile. It's very like you're in a I know that's they're going for like you're in a pod, you're in a futuristic pod that's just going
Yeah.
everywhere. And I'm like, it's nice, but I wouldn't mind a little more oomph, like a little more, yeah, something. Something to kind of like be like, oh, this is like my car, not just like, even if I owned it, I would just be like, this just feels like I'm renting. Always feels like I'm renting this. Because, yeah, there's just nothing to it. No, yeah, no dials, all just buttons and all just touching. And I'm like, that's kind of weird to me. Um,
Yeah. Can I touch on one thing about Tesla?
yeah, of course.
Okay, so have you heard about the more recent attacks on Tesla vehicles?
No.
So in Los Angeles, there's been a spree of people targeting Tesla vehicles and like taking like anything from like a iron pipe to whatever, like some sort of thing to do damage to the vehicle and attack it. And a few of these videos have been caught on dash cams and stuff like that.
Weird. Is there
And
any reason?
um, so far they're not really saying. However, some people are speculating because of Twitter.
Oh, fair, fair. Yeah,
No, it's speculation and all allegedly and stuff like that.
yeah. At least there's a
So
reason.
people are, well, we don't know if that's the reason or not, right?
Yeah.
But no, it's been significant. Like the Tesla vehicles specifically, like have been wrapping up more reports
Huh.
in Los Angeles, at least.
Yeah. Maybe it's one of those things that's just like, oh, you're trying to flex. So probably it's happening just as much to like Ferraris and Lamborghinis, but there's not as many out there, maybe.
Maybe
Uh,
it's hard to say on that. But anyway, go ahead. The rest of your week there.
yeah. So, anyways, in general, was awesome game. We ended up walking back just because, yeah, we had such like a vibe and like such an energy after this game. They won, thank God, against the Knicks. It was sweet. Trent Jr. was on fire. He was hitting so many threes. The only problem was that the Knicks actually did like two really dirty alley oops, and it was like kind of hard to like be like, oh yeah, no, that sucks. Yeah, that sucks. Because like you can't cheer for the Knicks no matter what. You can't cheer for the opposite team because you're outed immediately. Um, so yeah, it was a great game.
Yeah.
Got back to the hotel. We had TSN on in the hotel before we left, and I come back and they're like talking about the game. They're doing that after brief, and that
Yeah.
was so sick. Um,
How old do you think Trent Jr. is?
I have no idea. He's an older man. He's yoked. Like, well, actually, he's probably young because you have to be young to be in the NBA.
He's
It's not all-
24.
Really?
1999.
Oh, damn. He's younger than me.
He's actually from Minnesota.
Really?
Yep. Which is, to be fair, if we're going to have an American guy playing on a Canadian team,
Yeah.
he's from the Canadian part of the States.
Oh,
Minnesota is called by some Little Canada.
that's funny. I like that. Yeah, it's really funny too because there was like a guy on the starting line of the Knicks that was from Mississauga, and everyone went nuts. It's just funny. We just like Canadians there, or we like the Raptors. It's just yeah. That's kind of cool though. At least he's from like little Canada. I like that.
Yeah.
Um.
Well, honestly, like most of the Toronto Raptor players are not Canadian.
Oh God, no, no.
But that's the same thing with like any like sport, right? Like most like there's a good chunk of Canadians and American teams, but it's mostly Americans and Canada teams in the NHL too.
Oh yeah, but I do remember this is like this year is the highest percentage of Canadians in the NBA. It's not a lot, but it's like the highest percentage it's ever been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a Guinness thing. This is the highest we've hit total.
Yeah. So at least we're kind of trying to get better, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in
Well, if the global warming, we can get on the court more often.
so yeah, in
I'm
general,
purely doing that for our American listeners on the podcast.
yeah, the night was pretty good. Ate at a place called Filthy Phillies. I cannot recommend that enough. It's Philadelphia cheesesteak sandwiches and like,
Oh,
oh yeah, and it's filthy. Yeah, it is filthy. But
you feel filthy or you feel filthy good?
both. By the
All
end,
right.
you're like, I ate too much, but I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the
Now,
roommate.
here's the question: is a white T-shirt safe?
No, God, no, not even close.
Perfect.
Yeah, yeah, which kind of sucked though, because I had like my fit all like, I picked out my outfit like a month ago. It was like, oh,
You tend to lean towards the lighter like shades and colors and stuff like that.
oh yeah, like my shoes were like 50 different colors, from California designer, but I did have a black. Thank God I had a black OVO Tiff sweater on. That yeah, and I greased that right up. But I went to bed immediately after. I was completely fine with that. I rode the go train
Yeah.
shame. But yeah. So roommate had a great time, and we were drinking a bit, and I went to bed, and I woke up to a bottle on the floor. It was my roommate's Absolute. He got,
Oh,
I think it was a 26er,
okay.
whichever one's $30.
Um, okay.
Yeah, not the smallest one you can get, but like one up from that. Empty. Completely empty. I was like, uh-oh. And yeah, he was not feeling good. Not at all. And I woke up at like, I think it was like 10 a.m. and we had to be out by 11, and he had just like finished drinking whole night. So yeah, we pack up, we're going. He pukes on the way to Union. He pukes in Union Station. And then I was smart. I got the second floor of our car in the GO train. because the bathrooms are on the back or on the bottom. Whole trip, whole go train trip, and it's an hour. Just puking, puking,
Yeah.
puking, and
So I
just
guess the $30 bottle is the 750 milliliter.
yes, yes, yeah. So a good night, a good night. I if I drank that, I'd be in the hospital immediately. Um,
If I drank that straight on its own, right? Like, well, it depends. 20-year-old me could do it. Going on 26-year-old me, having been mostly sober for the last 2 years, probably not.
no, no, like yeah, and it was straight. Yeah, like I know
Yeah.
he's a bigger guy, but like yeah, I think if both like
Well, they teach you in Smart Serve that like size, like the height and all that stuff matters, but when it comes to whether someone's like bulkier or not, it doesn't do too much.
oh okay,
More
well
like
yeah.
the percentage slide isn't as big as you think it is.
Yeah, and I kind of
Like there's
half witnessed that.
like it's for instance, like you and me are pretty close to size, right?
Yeah.
So if it came to like between you and I drinking, at that point it's going to be tolerance. And to be honest, I'd bet on you because you fancy yourself a White Claw now and then.
Yeah.
I fancy myself a drink once everybody gets together.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, pretty much like 4 times a week. I like to at least have one drink.
Yeah. Now
Usually if I'm
I'm
outside.
maybe might be able to handle hard liquor better than you, just because
Oh
you
yeah.
tend to go on the lighter stuff. But
I would probably fare better with vodka. But
I would probably
whiskey,
fare better with dark rum.
yeah, yeah. Anything whiskey, anything dark, you would win immediately. I think the only thing I could do is vodka.
Cody, not gonna lie, could probably beat me in a shot for whiskey.
Yeah, yeah, he's a big whiskey guy.
Yeah. No, most I did was like, this is a little story going back when I was drinking with some old colleagues. This was years ago, like almost 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm with like 4 other guys I work with, and we've already been steadily drinking through the night. We're at Barcadia, downtown Kingston,
Dope.
and Buddy decides to be a big spender, orders each of us 5 shots. Now, mind you, we're a little gone enough to, for me to order like a little, like they didn't notice I ordered a Smirnoff Ice as a chaser,
Yeah.
right? So like the lemonade vodka drink, right? Chasing it down, or to chase down the whiskey. So
Yeah.
more alcohol chasing down more alcohol, but get the taste of the whiskey in my mouth. So I knock back the 5 and then gulp half of the Smirnoff Ice and just start casually sipping. They look at me thinking I did all those shots and I just starting my next drink, and then they immediately play catch up. And next thing I remember, I'm trying to escort these guys back onto the sidewalk while we try and manage to get to Buddy's apartment.
God, in Barcadia too, which is kind of a little bit chiller place.
Well, we were like, like it was a drink, playing games, stuff like that. Oh, this drink's empty. Here, you take my spot. You can play around against Buddy here, and I'll go grab us each another drink, kind of thing. Like, I think it was only like we made up about a quarter of the people in there, and there's only about 20 people in there, I think, at the time. Like, it wasn't
Okay.
packed.
Okay, yeah, yeah. That's funny though. Oh yeah, so pretty much yakking the whole way on the GO train. Gets
Mhm.
into not my truck, but I got my mom's car because I wanted a little bit of an easier experience because my back was hurting. Still, I rubbed on so much like arthritis cream just to get through the game. Yeah, so I was in the car.
Yeah.
Just
Costco
like
muscle relaxers.
yeah. Yeah.
Just
And
saying.
all the THC, CBD rubs. Yeah. I smelled like a pot smoker. I haven't smoked in like 2 years now.
How did that feel?
Yeah, it was so funny when I smelled myself and I was like, "Oh God, that's weird. That's really weird." God, that
You've been
brings back
sober off
memories.
that for a long time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Um, yeah. So he yacked pretty much the whole way into a bag. So this is about like let's say 3 hours of travel, yakking completely, and we get 2 minutes away from the house, and he drops
Yeah.
the bag.
No.
Yeah, yeah. My mom's
Oh.
smartest decision if she ever did was she bought those liners that are perfectly fitted to her model year of car.
Yeah.
So it's like a bowl.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he dropped the bag and like yeah, I couldn't speak. And I pull up next to the house, I let him out, I like park the car, and I don't know why. It's almost like a train wreck. I look over just to see it, I guess. And immediately yeah, I know, right? And I immediately get out of the car and I just yak everywhere. I was feeling fine. I was feeling completely fine because I just had a few vodka orange juices. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that, yeah, the Toronto game the day of, awesome. Ride home sucked, but in
Yeah.
all, great experience. Can't, yeah.
Well, yeah,
Um,
you got to go see a game, and the greatest thing about the energy of those things is like in the same way we all have like these different communities we have between the churches and everything else like that, and a lot of those intersect. Is like again, sports is about bring like aside from playing, it's about bringing people together,
yeah, that's
and
fair.
even playing in most sports, it's about being a team.
Yeah. Um,
So you're always gonna have that like that rally feeling, or in a good
you could
situation.
rally,
Maybe
yes.
maybe not your unless you're filming your blood sports.
Yeah, yeah, God. I've been doing it's funny, that's not even on my docket to talk about because I've been doing it so much. Yeah.
I've been looking forward to hearing it though.
Real quick, I think I actually already talked about it when we went to lunch the other day, but like they're now like checking to see where the refs are and where they're looking and then just tripping. Like straight just putting their hooking their excuse me, stick under this girl's skate, just tripping her. Like or just like looking around and then just using their stick as a bat. Like it's technically assault outside of an ice rink for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. And actually it's funny. I usually have a smoke every period, just or every break in the period because I'm like, God, I hate being here.
Yeah.
Um and last time the Windsor, I think it was Windsor team, they one of the dads each period was just getting more and more plastered. Just more and more plastered. But he was the
Did it
only
have the
one.
old McDonald's cup?
No, that's funny. No, he was actually just straight like out of a water bottle, but it was brown liquid. It's like, dude, come on.
Well,
It.
if you're into brown, you gotta get Coca-Cola or a Pepsi
Thank you.
bottle at least.
Yeah, it
You
looks like.
got you got your consistency.
Yeah, no, no. This guy's like, no, I'm gonna get like spring water and then just it looks like chew in it, like just chew spit. Like it's like no, no. You're obviously drinking dark whiskey of some sort. Um, but
Oh,
yeah,
what was this? I had a coworker recently. We got talking about how apparently there was like a lot of counterfeit like those um booze delivery things.
yeah,
Apparently, I can't remember where he was saying it was, but they had an issue with, and he said, I don't know how they're doing it. With people like pouring, like, giving like the alcohol bottles, but it's filled with non-alcohol, and they're taking the alcohol home somehow or something like that.
oh wow,
And he was like, well, how could they do that with whiskey? I'm like, Coke and water.
yeah,
And he's like, huh.
yeah. Um, actually, speaking of alcohol delivery services, I don't know. Did I tell you about D&D? I think I told you after D&D.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Just for listeners, um, I don't know why. I was just having a great night D&D, and I didn't. have anything to drink, and I was like, you know what, I'd like to tie one off. I don't work tomorrow, and that's rare. So I'm like looking on Skip the Dishes, and it's like it's getting to like $100 just to have a 6 pack and like I think it was like 6 coolers or whatever, and just to get delivered down the
And that's
road.
like, what does that actually cost? Like, if you were to actually go there yourself, what does that actually like cost? Like, what, like
Um,
15 bucks?
a 6 pack, I think they were charging $30 for.
Oh yeah,
Um,
really? A 6 pack of like White Claws?
no, no, of Molson.
Oh, Molson.
Yeah,
Okay, really, a 6 pack of Molson?
yeah,
Couldn't you get like, I don't know? I'm thinking like if you get like a one of those things of cans and stuff like that, like you can get a pretty good sized box for like a two for only like 50.
yeah, yeah. No, I know the coolers were like $6 each for just one tall boy. Um, yeah, so I didn't really feel like spending that. I don't have that big of a problem. Um, so during D&D, I usually go out once for a smoke, and I just have like D&D going on my Discord on my phone, and I just kind of mute it. And as I'm going for a smoke, it's muted, and there's like one of our teammates is like fighting some dragon type thing, and I look over and there's this guy just dropping off a pack of Bush to this lady, and I see like money exchange, and I'm like, "Hey, bud, do you deliver booze?" He goes, "Yeah, but they're all closed." I go, "Yeah, I know. I was just checking." He goes, "Well, what do you drink?" I go, "Well, what do you got?" And doesn't he pull out some absolute vodka? It was, yeah, goddamn, brings a tear to my eye. Because yeah, I'm usually, yeah, I'm pretty lucky that way. Just in the most random, I chose to have a cigarette at that time. Yeah, and it was vodka. It's raspberry vodka, so I absolutely hate flavored vodka. But yeah, take what you can get. Had a decent Saturday. Didn't actually drink even that much, but yeah, gotta love it.
Raspberry Absolute, mix it with watermelon juice.
Yeah, yeah, no chasers whatsoever. But yeah, that probably would actually be a lot better. Um, yeah, God, just yeah, it's flavored like just the roommate really loves lime vodka. I can't get behind it.
Lime vodka. There's a lot of different things you can mix lime with, though. It's definitely a good mixer.
Oh yeah, yeah, and yeah, I'm more
Like, 'cause it can give that little tang kick. So if like you're like to do like something like like a strawberry daiquiri and you threw a splash of lime vodka in there,
that wouldn't be awful. Yeah,
it would just
it
make it more tart. That's all. If that's your
true.
kind of cup of tea.
Yeah, more with any cocktails I have. It's usually made with just plain vodka and like vodka orange juice. Well, actually,
Yeah,
you know what's
get good
awesome?
old screwdrivers.
Yeah, vodka and Sunny D, because it's
Yeah.
so sugary and probably would have given me a hangover if I actually did too much of it, but I didn't. But oh my god, that is just dangerous.
Remember
Um,
how like Sunny D was like the big thing in our grocery stores and it was like the expensive orange juice and now it's in the dollar store?
yep, yep. Oh, there was a funny meme. It was saying how us as children used to have Lunchables and Sunny D, and we wonder why our whole generation now loves charcuterie boards and mimosas. Right, right. That kind of gave me a little bit of a chuckle there. Yeah. So that's pretty much. Oh, okay. I'm gonna take off that, but the one thing I have to talk about is this. Have I ever talked about Sego promotion, ladies?
I think and I think you and me were in the garage and there's drinks involved the one time you were when you mentioned it.
Yeah, so they have Sego is like the most premium tobacco brand that natives have.
Okay.
And they have promotions out where they'll like try and sell you on switching from a name brand to a Sego brand. And they send very attractive women to do these promotions because that's what stops guys in their tracks. And most of the time, they're actually like, I have regulars, they'll get premiums, but if there's actually a attractive lady they're trying to impress, they're like, oh yeah, no, I'll help you out, I'll get a Sego brand. But anyways, that's just context of, we talk quite a bit usually because it's almost never busy when she comes there because she picks awful times. But she was talking about how she moved into a little ski town about 3 hours west of us, and she moved in with this guy. And
Okay.
I immediately thought, okay, are you together? And she goes, no, no, we're just roommates. And then a week later, she goes, yeah, so we're probably we're seeing how things go. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, no, obviously, you're two extremely attractive individuals living together. Something's gonna happen. Personal
Yeah.
opinion, anyways. Um, her first descriptor is, yeah, he's my roommate. He plays hockey. He's had 5 concussions and can no longer have kids because it's messed up his head so bad. That's it. That's all I got for a descriptor, Derek. Like, dude, is he
The
a
only
good
thing I
cook?
don't get is just like I don't get how concussions mess with down there
It's
per se.
it's his hormones. It's all of his
Oh,
like,
okay. Oh, the level,
yeah,
the chemical levels. Okay, I get what you're
yeah,
saying.
yeah. It's everything going on in your head that actually makes like your brain tell your junk like, hey, put some boys in there to try and get out. So yeah, they just stopped reproducing. So yeah, it's like if Julia is like, yeah, I'm dating a guy. He lifts jackhammers. Got a bad back. It's like, okay, well, come on. What's his hobbies? What does he look like? What's going on here? So I told her that we kind of had a really good laugh about that, and I got her laughing about the fact that all she brings up is about this concussion, and she she said this guy is awesome, very attractive, obviously concussions. The only problem is he buys blueberries and rice.
Okay.
So,
Is that all he buys? Is that the
for
issue?
the most part, do you know what he doesn't eat?
Blueberries and rice?
Yep. There must have been something happening on a day he got one of those bad concussions where he had to go and buy blueberries and rice. Because she's like, first moved in there, the freezer's full of blueberries. Goes down to the basement, bags and bags of rice. She goes, oh, I guess that's maybe a hockey prep thing or something like that. All of a sudden, he just like sits up. He goes, oh, gotta go to the grocery store. You need anything? He goes, no, I'm okay. Comes back 30 minutes later, bag of rice, pack of blueberries. She goes, oh, okay, weird. Maybe freshness? She leaves the next day. She gets a text. Hey, you need anything from the grocery store? She goes, no. Okay, just checking. I just picked up some
Oh,
blueberries and rice.
please tell me he's not in Groundhog Day.
There's something. There is something going on with him.
Oh, poor
Everything
guy.
else is kind of okay. He can't have kids, but he keeps buying blueberries and rice. Yeah. Yeah. I was
I
ugly
hope she likes
laughing.
blueberries.
Right? She's like, I'm okay with it. But he's buying just plain bags of rice. Not even Uncle Ben's. He's buying like the pound bags, man. He's buying
Oh,
big bags. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, at least if anything happens, they'll have like food in the
Oh.
apocalypse
Oh, yeah.
for rice wise.
I hope you like blueberries and goddamn rice. Because
The
that's what we're
blueberries got to go
having.
first.
Right? Yeah. Oh yeah, that freezer kicks out, man. You're done for. Um, but yeah, yeah. I was ugly crying in the store because I was laughing so hard. I was snorting. She was just, yeah, because she had never actually said it out loud before to anyone, and it was like,
Yeah.
you're yeah, no, you're a mess. You're like, what's going on here? Um, also, that guy has to be the most attractive guy. He's gotta be packing some heat. Let's just say that, ladies and gentlemen. if he's showing up every other day with a pound of blueberries and a pound of rice, and you're just letting that slide, what are you holstering there, bud? All right. Um, yeah, so for the most part, that's about it. You know about No Man's Sky a lot. Could go into that, but feel like I'm almost at the end of our 55 minutes here on Amherst Island. And I've just been going off about the Raptors and blueberries and rice. What's on my plate today? Um, yeah, yeah. So yeah, I'll end that there. I'll probably get into No Man's Sky next episode when we're both like space pirates and going into
All
Davy
right.
Jones' locker or whatever.
But we do have some questions we can get to right now to wrap up this time.
That'd be perfect. Let's go
All right.
first with yours.
Okay, so unfortunately, I know the kind of the answer for you side here. We have a question from our longtime listener JJ, who's also thrown us a few questions in the past.
Yeah, I remember.
Have you seen the Last of Us show? Played both the games, and if so, what's your opinion on the HBO rendition versus the game? Have you started watching the show?
Damn, no, I have not. Yeah, damn. Sorry,
All right.
JJ. That was a good one though, because I do want to see those. I have played number 1. Have not played
number
number
1 is
2.
what the show's based off of.
Perfect.
Okay, so I'll be able to play this off of you a little bit. Okay, so you remember Tess, the female like partner before you meet Ellie, right?
Yep.
You remember how she dies in the bank after she got bit and she fights some Fedra soldiers?
Yep.
Okay, so they changed. Oh fuck. Oh.
I've said it like 3 times. We're fine.
Okay. Well, they changed her death. I won't say how.
Okay.
They took some liberties there. And you remember Bill, the guy you get the truck off of?
Yeah, yeah.
They dedicated a whole episode to him and gave him a plot and made him a relevant person to an extent.
Okay. Well, I just gotta squeeze out. Well, actually, you know what? No, it's an interesting enough game that you don't really need to squeeze plot out of small things. But
yeah. Now the thing is, like how it was at least marketed to me was that they're gonna stay pretty truthful. Yeah. Now they're keeping a lot of iconic lines, but like it's kind of weird because they did that bonus episode and they changed some things. Like pretty much what happened in episode 4, I honestly thought after episode 2 was going to be episode 3 until I took the liberties with Bill.
Yeah.
And right now, where they have it in the current series is you remember the black dad and his son?
Yep.
The cliffhanger of the 4th episode is meeting them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Not gonna lie, having some of the couple of changes, it was kind of one of those things like, all right, and then I was just kind of like, but when they do something that's like iconic to like from the game into in the show, it's kind of like, all right, you reeled me back in.
Yeah. See, that's as long as they don't take like too much artistic liberties, then it's like.
My curiosity is just because, like, how many liberties they've already taken in the first 4 episodes. Now, mind you, it's staying truthful, but it's also not. It's walking the line.
Instead, Joel.
No, that's not even going to be relevant. But I'm wondering, with how big this show is blown up, if they're going to do multiple seasons of like trying to do filler between part 1 and part 2, because there's room there.
See, nowadays,
and then lead into part 2.
A lot of
because a lot of shows do fillers.
Okay, and this is going to cut it for our Amherst Island broadcast. Catch us on Spotify and anywhere else that you listen to podcasts for our extended edition. See you there. Welcome back to On the Rewind. don't get past season 2. You have to be like extremely successful to get past it.
The thing is, though, there's enough of a fan base for them to be successful with this.
Yeah, I hope so. I don't know. I'm probably just riding the
Like,
wave of Inside Out being canceled.
yeah, Inside Out. Wait, Inside Out was canceled?
Yep.
Yeah, I gotta look this up.
Yeah. Yeah. Um. Oh, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, just to kind of maybe talk about the show a bit. The one thing that I do like is now everyone is kind of looking into the fact that there are kind of funguses and fungi in the world that
That
do kind
actually
of,
do what they're
yeah, bleed
saying,
into
and
the
they
brain.
even in the prologue of the first episode, they actually have two scientists sitting down and discussing the fungus. All right, so we're back at it. We were leaving off with the Last of Us conversation and just the kind of the liberties they were taking there and talking about the different seasons there and how Inside Out was canceled. Now, that's the show about the emotions or the movies about the emotions? Or
No,
are we talking about the HGTV with the renovations?
I might be like completely off base. I am so off base.
Because
All right.
Inside Out's like the emotional movie from Disney I've never seen, and then Inside Out's like the construction show as well.
Yeah, 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 I completely misguided that. What is it? Inside Job.
Oh, Inside Job, the Netflix
That's
cartoon. Okay,
my
but all
bad.
how like the Illuminati conspiracy show
Any single
cartoon.
conspiracy you could ever dream of. That's it. So anyone who was listening to the Amherst Island radio broadcast and doesn't come over to the Spotify, you're gonna be Googling it thinking I don't know anything, and you'd be right. I
Yeah,
am.
you're
Yeah.
like my child's favorite movie's canceled. No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
That
Just
that 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 knockoff Archer show got canceled.
yeah. I caused some car crashes for some kids screaming. Um yeah. Yeah, well, Inside Job is canceled. And yeah, it just pissed me off
Yeah,
because I thought it had a pretty decent following, and
it was all right. Like I liked it enough to watch it.
yeah,
It's not something I would go back and watch the first season over again.
no, no, mind you, I'm trying to make an active effort of not rewatching shows unless it's been like 20 years, like
I started
Criminal Minds.
rewatching The Big Bang Theory. Not gonna lie.
All right. No, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Well, I gotta watch something while I grow my cows on the ranch on the game.
Actually, that kind of was me with No Man's Sky. I actually finished Criminal Minds because of it.
Oh, because you're
Finally,
playing No Man's Sky while watching shows.
yeah. So I was just like, I would just put it on the tablet like a tablet kid, and then yeah, just kind of just fart around in No Man's Sky and just watch Criminal Minds. Finished it up
Were you the
now,
first generation of tablet kid?
right? Kind of feels like it right now. It's so funny when
Because I was like second gen iPod watching PewDiePie play Amnesia kid.
But it's so funny when Kayla's starting to annoy me on the couch. I just put on Scrabble on the iPad and I just hand it to her, and she just and she's fine. I kind of get these parents now, man. Yeah,
uh,
no, it's great. Yeah, I then I can play my game and I don't have to have her
you
showing
know, you
me
know, you know
interior
what
design.
though? There was a time where if oh, I did it when Dying Light 2 came out. She loves crosswords. I bought her like 3 crossword books so I could play Dying Light 2 unbothered.
That's hilarious. I actually love that. That's sick.
Yeah, except for I'm saying this and she's in the room with me.
Yeah, no, I'm smart about it. Yeah, I'll just buy her a new book or something anytime I wanna. Well, yeah,
See, if I bought her a book, she'd be done it before I'm done the game. She's a quick reader. She just goes through them.
Just try and get like
This has 30 chapters. Oh, it's like finish the prologue. What chapter are you on? 10.
well, if you take the Lennox and Addington phone book, and I take the Quinty and Hastings phone book, I think we could give her some time.
Maybe.
But yeah, no, that was a really good question. I just kind of wish I'd actually seen it because yeah,
We'll touch if when you go to watch it. I imagine you're probably just waiting for the season to wrap up so you can binge it.
yeah. I need to finish something in a day if I start.
Yeah. So once that gets up, we'll probably do like a little spoiler cast on the pod on like the Spotify extended. We'll probably instead of like a news thing, we'll probably hash it out over the podcast.
Yeah,
Do our little Hearst like spoiler cast. Well, technically we spoiled other things, but when we give warnings, but we'll actually dedicate something to it.
yeah. All right, and
You had a
from
question, didn't you?
yeah, actually from a newer listener. I hadn't heard her name before. It's Jada. If there was one food you could bring from a video game into real life, what would it be?
Sorry. I think the first part of that cut out for me.
If there was one food you could bring into a video game, or sorry, bring out of a video game into real life, what would it be?
That's an interesting question.
Right? All I
I've
could think
never.
of is Skyrim sweet rolls, but that's just the first one that comes to mind because I've seen it done in real life.
Huh.
This is where I need to really
Now I'm thinking.
right. I need to really quickly go on binging with Babish and just check out all the food there.
Hmm.
It's kind of funny because yeah, I knew about this question way before you, and I still wasn't able to like think of anything.
You know what? I'm gonna do a little cheesy doodle here. Hogwarts Legacy and other Harry Potter games exist, so I'm gonna go with Butterbeer.
Oh, dude, I did I ever tell you I made that?
I heard that you told me that you did.
Yeah,
Still, like I've never had it myself.
yeah. So
I had one opportunity to go to like a Harry Potter themed pub, but when I went, the line was so jam packed, and the group I was with decided, nah, we'll just go to another bar. And
so
I was like, but my childhood's in, but I want to drink it.
so the real butterbeer described in the book is grotesque. The one that they have at like Universal and all that stuff is actually apparently it's really good. I've never had it, but apparently it's sweet, like actually sweet and sick. Um yeah, this one was like god awful because I made it for Kayla. I had never really been into the Harry Potter franchise before, but then she kind of got me into it, just kind of watching it and all that. And kind of sucks because this is after I went to California and was in the prop house for all of the Harry Potter stuff. So I didn't really appreciate it back then. But so to kind of surprise her, I decided to make a actual brew of butterbeer. It is the best rendition is Alexander Keith's boiled with cloves, nutmeg, and about a quarter stick of butter.
Okay.
And like as a shot, that would be sick. That would be awesome. But like when you're trying to drink it, man, and it's like it's just butter. You have to drink it like right there, and it has to be warm, because if it's cold, then it solidifies. So you need this stuff warm. So you're drinking
Okay.
warm nutmeggy beer with
Can I
butter in it.
change my answer?
Yeah, of course.
Any of the food from like Monster Hunter World.
Oh, or
Where
are
they
you
like
looking up binging with Babish?
no.
Oh, that's funny. I
I was
looked
thinking
at.
about games that had food in it, and I was thinking, okay, Final Fantasy 15 had a whole cooking thing to it, and Monster Hunter has a huge cooking thing with it.
Yeah, I'll take that as long as it actually is like prepared by a cat, because that would be
All
sick.
right.
The animations they do on there. But I was actually gonna say the chef's choice platter. That's the one that just has like so much extravagant, like one's beef, one's seafood, one's like a full chicken. So
Yeah.
yeah, if I gotta, oh my
Well,
god,
there's that one that has like the three skewers, like sausages, potatoes, a stew, and chicken. Yeah, and
yeah,
then like a ale mug or something.
yeah, yeah. No, that would be actually sick to do. Excuse me. But yeah, really good question. It's a thinker. Its problem is like I could have just been boring and said Nuka Cola, but that's already in the world. And
Yeah.
plus, yeah, it's just like be funny if it actually was real and just gave you rads every time. But yeah, that's a thinker more than anything. I know I'm gonna immediately stop recording and then think of like 20 that I'm like, that's the
Yeah.
one that I think of all the time.
You're gonna play something. You're gonna think, yeah,
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna do like a whole cheese wheel from Skyrim, just the whole thing. That you just can down like 16 of them and then immediately
yeah.
start fighting. But yeah, no, good question. Um, so for news,
All right, I got one to start off that I just want to mention.
of course, yeah.
All right, since we're still pretty early on into February, I just want to give it a shout out. So the PlayStation Plus free games for February are now available as of a few days ago, including at the posting of this episode and airing. We got Ollie Ollie World, which is this really nice kind of, if you want like vibes to chill to while doing like cool sick tricks on like a 2D kind of skateboard thing, but it's actually like 3D animation. Um, where it's constantly changing environments, really like pastel kind of color, and then the contrast can go real up, but I would say it's a very relaxing art style with a lot of cool animations. Then we also have the Mafia, the definitive edition. So you got the OG
Yes.
Mafia game to take you back, where
Yes.
you're the cab driver. Adam's
Oh,
all about this.
yeah. Oh, no, I can't
Yeah.
wait.
And I actually already own this one. Bought it for my partner because they said they thought they'd be into it. The Evil Dead, the game. Now,
Yeah, I'm
have you seen that one before?
yeah, I'm really surprised. Isn't this like really quick for it to go free?
Yes and no. I feel like it's like the same thing of like Friday the 13th. That was also very quick to end up on Plus. It's just you know, it's another game. Player base starts to dwindle, but it's a solid game. Give it a boost with the Plus. Gains more players. Maybe people buy more DLCs and some transactions.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I was kind of surprised to see it on so quickly.
Well, it came out last year.
Oh.
Um,
Wait, whoa, we're in February. Come on.
yeah,
I know because Kayla is a huge Evil Dead freak and she
yeah.
never talks about games, and all of a sudden she was like all over this one.
Oh, cool. Well, I got it. I can get it downloaded. We can give that a run.
Yeah.
Um, though that's mentioned, speaking on kind of like the darker medieval kind of things, you remember that game you and I and Cody played, Dark and Darker?
Yes, 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 yes.
The playtest is back out this week.
Oh no way.
Yeah, and so yeah, I think, and they're saying fall this year is gonna be the release date.
Oh, that's good.
I think is where they're landing. And then I got one story, but if you got a couple you want to go through first, you can go ahead.
I am not as well versed as you when it comes to researching. I just kind of be like, "Yo, you hear about this? You know anything about this?" Um, the Hogwarts Legacy boycott. You talked a lot about it. I was like, "Have you heard that like every
It
streamer is
failed.
getting canceled and like
Is it? Are they really? Because like Summit streamed it, he's still going. Asgold streamed it, he's still going. Twitch apparently had some backlash. against the because people were DOSing, and that's like a
Yeah,
big no on their
on their
because it's
platform.
also their servers.
Yeah. Do you know girlfriend reviews?
No,
Really?
maybe I think it's
Sorry?
like is that the one that has that does like the format? It's like, do I care if my boyfriend plays this thing?
Oh, yeah, pretty much. It's just like she plays some games, but it was mostly just being like, "Okay, I wanna this is how fun it is to watch, and this is what my boyfriend said about it." And it's kind of interesting. I
Huh.
love the format. But yeah, she's really sweet. It's like a brand new channel that like blew up really quick, so she's kind of thrusted in all to this. But there's like a viral clip of like her getting like called transphobic and all that for playing this game because of J.K. Rowling to the point where like she's crying. Hassan will not touch it with a 10-foot pole, and neither will a lot of his group because they're immediately like getting called transphobic. So yeah, I don't know. I was just wondering if you had heard anything about that.
Yeah, it's been all over my feeds and everything else like that. Like I said, I've been playing it. Um, honestly, I've always had the mentality you do you. Um, I've also had the mentality don't let one person's voice ruin your day.
Yeah,
But it's also like if you really I don't like having to take this like kind of stance openly. However, when you have companies like Blizzard, the people that make League of Legends, when they have sexual harassment suits constantly going on within their companies and they play all these games, you have how many people streaming League of Legends on a daily basis when they had that whole fiasco with the Cosby suite and everything else like that, the one woman suicide, the investigations, the California lawsuits about how they were treating employees and how things were getting swept under the rug there, and this goes Ubisoft is another one that's awful for these kind of things. It's like, but we still all play the Assassin's Creed games.
oh yeah, and we'll never stop.
If you want to, so this whole idea of ethical gaming is we always lot for those games. It's like, well, we gotta support the devs that are trying to live their lives and make their gaming their career. It's like, well, when did that stop because of one person's opinion?
Yeah,
When there's people that are unheard that or are trying to be heard that are going through all these different things to only silence and pick this one. This is the problem child.
yeah,
So honestly, until those people that they can all say they have never played these games or they're gonna boycott this game like those games because of that, and they're not gonna play anything but indie. And even then, some of those indie studios, you never know what's going on behind those closed doors until they get bigger.
yeah. No
And you
HR
hear
department.
stories about those. So I see it as a moot point of trying to do the whole thing that way. It's like me and Amber Heard. I because of everything that she has done to harm like anything between Johnny Depp, the whole Me Too and everything else she is harmed for her false allegations, as well as just her being the kind of person she is for her character, not what she is, but who she is. I refuse to watch, and I love Jason Momoa, but I refuse to watch any of the Aquaman series or anything
Yeah,
she's in.
yeah. It really surprised me when
That's a
she was brought
personal,
back.
but I'm not gonna preach on Twitter. You gotta boycott this. That's my own personal choice.
Yeah. See, I can do this news thing. I'm pretty good at this. All right.
Yeah, but
So,
I try and avoid these controversial things so that way we don't get canceled.
yeah, that is the problem. Is that's like for any listener, that's why I kind of stopped doing news because I'm always just like,
You want
if
the controversial, nitty gritty
yeah,
stuff, and I'm just like,
eh,
I don't want to get DOSed or swatted
yeah.
because
So,
I played a Harry Potter game.
on that note, did you hear that prosecutors say YouTuber faked a live stream as an alibi in a murder case? Bet you didn't.
I
That's my
did not.
news format. Did you hear? I bet you didn't.
All right,
Um.
you got more on that? You got an article you can pull from there?
Oh God, no. No, but I
Then
actually
it's
did watch.
alleged. You gotta cover your butt, man.
Yeah, it is funny though,
Allegedly.
because you actually can see, like you can still watch the stream. It's kind of funny. Um, Allegedly, this guy hit his like wife or something like that was killed, and he's like, yeah, no, it's okay. I was streaming, so I'm like, I'm totally clear. And then they go on the stream, and the very start of it, he's like, yeah, like, I just don't like all these streams that are just about watching chat all the time. So like I won't respond to chat today. I just want to like just play like GTA Vice City and stuff like that. Just I Yeah, I'll make a few comments, but I won't like respond to any like donations or anything like that. I just want to kind of have a chill time. And it's like, yeah, okay, but that's your alibi, and like
The Among Us sus.
yeah, right, yeah, it looks very suspect. So yeah, I don't know. That was just kind of interesting to me. Pretty much, that's it. That's all my research right there, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, I'll present you some more, our audience with some more, my last news story that has a little bit of research worked into it. As I told you to also look into this, the D&D OGL fiasco,
Yes. I did
which,
not, but yes.
so here's the most recent development. Do you know Pathfinder?
Um,
It's
no,
pretty
no.
much like the second most known, like, D&D alternative. That's the closest thing to it.
Oh yeah,
Um,
God, no, no. I don't know anything about that because you introduced me to D&D. So yeah.
okay. Well, Pathfinder's kind of like the second comer, right?
Okay.
And with everything going on, they put out their books for this year, and that they expected to last a year. And because of this fiasco, they sold out in 2 weeks.
Huh.
Um,
Lucky.
and then 2 days later, they Wizards of the Coast, the people that produce D&D and make it and send it out and all that. Um, they a couple days later then announced like, okay, we're not going to do anything to the OGL. We're going to leave it as is. We're going to put it under the Creative Commons. So pretty much they're making it so they can't try and allegedly pull this stunt again
Yeah.
with 5th edition. And they're going to make a lot more things available in the SRD. So the SRD is pretty much, if it's in the SRD, you can pretty much openly use it, even if you don't have the books for it. You can
Okay.
use it in your games, your developments, whatever kind of thing, story you're kind of tell. So not all things are. Like, for instance, the class The Artificer, a lot of their subclasses are not in the SRD. It still has, you still have to buy the book to technically be allowed to use them.
What is an SRD?
I'll have to pull that up for you shortly. But essentially, um, the people have won. The OGL is allegedly going to remain where it is. This whole started with Hasbro wanting to increase, lose IPs and make their big IPs bigger. So
Okay.
they brought in an executive from Microsoft that said you're under monetizing, and so they
That makes
wanted to
sense.
start taking cuts from content creators that were making over a set amount, like I think it was 70,000. And mind you, if you're like Critical Role, they make millions,
Yeah.
right? Not every podcast does. Plenty of D&D podcasts out there that like their Patreon, and I've seen a lot of them blow up in the last few years too. Would love for us to start something like that, but Scott's not kind of into that sort of thing. However, uh, with back onto this, uh, with all the OGL and stuff like that, it was going to be a lot more licensing work stuff people would have to do to make games and content. It was essentially going to eliminate homebrew that you'd have to publish through Wizards of the Coast, and then they would get a cut off your work,
Jesus.
etc. Right? So if you're
Yeah.
like someone that makes content for a living, to like whether it's like, hey, I'm gonna make a custom campaign and sell it, because there's people that do that.
Yeah.
Pretty much, no, you got to publish it through Wizard of the Coast, or they could, cease and desist you, etc. So, with that, they've now talked it back. But one thing that recently occurred to me through all this is I didn't know Wizard of the Coast was owned by Hasbro.
Yeah. Neither did I. I didn't. Yeah.
Like they
I
got
never
bought out
really
by
thought.
them a way while back. And there's a
Huh.
lot of games in the works that use the D&D thing, and they even went as far as to try and say the 20-sided die was under their banner
Yeah. Of
at
course.
one point or another. And so it's now gone, and so folk from both the Critical Role side of the community and just your average player like you and I actually like rose up the Twitter and stuff like that and social media, and all the content creators were following this and posting about it. There were apparently a lot of it was like the higher ups that were trying to do this. A lot of this, like the creators and the people that are just writers for it, did not want this. The people that are, it's a passion project that they happen to be able to get a paying working job in,
Yeah.
did not want this. They even tried to. So D&D Beyond was originally made by separate folk that got bought by Wizard of the Coast. Now, this is one of those websites that, like, if you pay a subscription or you can buy all the books on, you get a character creator that has everything that they have built into it, where it's just a click, 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 rather than,
Yeah.
you looking through the book and typing it in or copy and pasting like we have to on Roll20.
Yeah.
Pretty much a very efficient but costly way. Unless you're like, if you're doing it for a living, by all means use D&D Beyond. Well, at the time anyway. Apparently, they Wizards of the Coast was working on their own, as well as something that would be in the Unreal Engine. They wanted to use that to replace D&D Beyond, and so their whole plan of a part of the OGL was to slowly destroy D&D Beyond. But as people unsubscribed in flooding numbers and pretty much went and started buying other tabletop RPG products, like once that hit it, they actually started walking things back. Once they were like, "Oh, we're not converting the base, we're losing the fan base." But now all the quote unquote nerds that have been playing their games for years have now bought other books. So a lot of people are like, we don't not sure the trust. Think people like Critical Role are talking about maybe going to use alternatives, and so like a lot of their big representation and mainstream presence is looking elsewhere still. But on the bright side, all the current projects that are using the OGL are no longer under threat.
Yeah. Which would
But
have affected ours, right?
yeah, right
Yeah.
now it's see if they go through with backing off, and they're gonna be in consumer like debt to consumer like marketing for a while. Like
Oh yeah.
I don't know how they're gonna pull us out. Like you know our group, we're gonna use the system. If we end up finishing off this campaign one way or another, like we might go back to the darken or not the dark, the blaze in the dark system, which I
Okay.
think you'll love. It's so. Oh, move away from this topic and go back into a bit more of an opinion piece style with the blades in the dark. So it's originally a system for heisting.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. but it's like, you know, the Dishonored games.
Yeah.
So think you're in like Dishonored 1 and 2, and you're doing a D&D criminal thing, masterminds and stuff like that. That's what this system is. And instead of like using your D20s and all that, you're using like up to like 4 six-sided die. All right. So
Yeah.
you go for your highest roll, but essentially you spec into different skills, and there's like 4 pips that you can get into each skill. If you have nothing in it, you roll 2 and take the lowest. If you have 1 in it, you roll 1. If you have 2 in it, you roll 2 dice. And so a 1 to 3 is a fail. A 4 to 5 is a partial success. You kind of do it. Doesn't quite go your way though. And
Yeah.
a 6 is a success. If you roll 2 6s, it's a critical success. If you roll 2 1s, it's a critical fail. But if you're really proficient in something, you got 4 chances in succeeding.
Oh, sweet.
If you're maxed out on something.
Yeah. So yeah,
But
that would like kind of catch you.
there's a you leveling up. And it's kind of funny. You know how we have all these side hustles in our campaign?
Yeah.
That is actually baked into the system. Each character is supposed to have their own side hustles that they tend
Oh, that's
to.
funny.
You have, what is it? The find the job, the prep, the initial entrance, the heist itself, the cooldown, the downtime, and then reset. That's the clock that's supposed to work in. And you actually have this crew sheet that tracks your heat and your reputation. And you have different types of crews, whether you want to be like bounty hunters, or if you want to be like, oh no, we're professionals, or hey, we do things discreetly. Like there's different crews that have different bonuses and stuff like that. And there's
Yeah.
about several different classes. One's all the way from being a talker, the other's all the way from being a tough guy. And then there's my favorite one as the Daredevil perk. So there's risk and effect on each roll, right?
Yeah.
So the DM will tell you, oh, this is the risk is controlled. That's not, the consequences aren't too dire. Or it's risky. Like you could get shot. Or desperate. It's like that machine gun's, if you don't pull this off, that machine gun's gonna nail you. And then um the effects, it's like a limited, so it's like trying to punch a wall. You got your normal effect, which is, taking a pickaxe to it. You have your great effect, which is like, like maybe like a single strip of like dynamite. And then extreme effect, taking a bulldozer to it. Or running a tank through it, right?
Yeah.
So there's this perk that you can get called Daredevil, which you can choose that you can always choose to make an action desperate to put the effect to great, but it also makes the risk on your fails great, the effect great as well. But Daredevil, what it actually does is it gives you another dice when you do it.
So yeah, it's almost like doubling down on a bet.
Yeah.
It's like
And
double
Scott
or nothing.
knows that's my favorite because every character I've played has had it. Because I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do this.
That's so freaking funny.
And it's great because you're like, man, like I don't want to have to take the lowest die. I may as well double down. So it's like rolling 1 die all on you. Or if like you got 1 pip and it's like, yeah, rolling 2. But yeah, no, it's a great system.
Oh, it's funny as much as like yeah, I'm having fun. I can't wait for the next one. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's just the creative mind in me.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things. It's just like loving where it is. I guess he was talking a bit. I don't know if you were in there before everyone got in, but he's talking about
No.
how he's gonna do a time skip, and we're all gonna do a level up
Oh,
after the time skip.
okay.
So after like the celebration and everything, there's gonna be a time skip and some leveling up.
Oh, sweet.
But
Yeah, I probably should have got a level up after that boss. But all right. Especially for the time of my renders, I am gonna say we should probably cut her pretty soon.
Okay, yeah,
Unless there's
we
any
can
other
end it
news
here.
stories.
No, that was the last of mine was the OGL.
Beautiful. All right. Well, thank you very much for tuning in to watch On the Rewind. Yeah, and thanks for tuning in to the extended edition. We'll see you in another couple weeks. Thanks for listening to On the Rewind.